Well, hey everybody, this is Don, and to my right or left, depending on how you look at the screen, is Mr. Mark Hunt, the man behind Gangbusters. How's everybody doing tonight, guys? Mark, how you doing?
Oh, excellent, excellent. Glad to get this show on the road. Doing outstanding.
It's about time. So everybody, Joe Stone, how you doing? Richard Offrey's in the chat. Perfect Machine Games is here. We have a bunch of other people in the live. Say hello, and we're going to be doing all kinds of cool things tonight, guys and gals. We're going to be talking about release of the PDF. We're going to be giving away a whole bunch of cool stuff tonight. We are going to be talking about the products that are going to be released here. Pretty Chad, how you doing, my friend? And we're going to be talking about the adventure packs. We're giving away adventure packs. We're going to be talking about the different products besides the core rules and ancillary setting that we have. We're going to be talking about the famous golden ticket. And if you have not heard about the golden ticket, you will want to know about the golden ticket because it's special. So, well, kind of fill everybody in. Today, me and Mark met and had some coffee, and we signed 100 book plates, which are going to go into the hardcover book that is going to be released here very soon. And basically what we're going to be doing here is, everything okay, Mark?
Yeah, I'm just moving the camera a little better. All right.
Okay. So basically what we're going to do tonight is we're going to be talking about the release of the PDF. Laura, how you doing? And we're going to be talking about the various products that are going to be coming out along with in the coming weeks, along with everything else, the contest, all this other stuff. So let's start off with the, as they say, the meat and potatoes and leave the peas for last. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to start off, we're going to talk a little bit about what are some of the other products that are coming out with Gangbuster, the core rules. And then we have the core setting. That's what's being released. And we're also coming out with something called Mob versus Monsters. Mark, you want to explain what that is, everybody?
All right. The core setting book is it's also known as the Hustler's Guide to Rock Junction. It's going to have additional rules and stuff that supplement the main core book, that enhances it and make it even better. Like more crimes, more things like that, and to give you background. And once you read the setting, you'll understand why things happen and how things are set up, and all the future adventures and modules will all refer back to that setting, as that's our core setting. Like Lakefront City was that for the original, Rock Junction is that for the BX version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Mob versus Monsters is like it's a horror setting that's non-mythos. There's no Cthulhu, there's nothing like that. It's purely neutral, and it's set up with, it's based around cutting a deal.
Mm-hmm.
How, making an offer you can't refuse, and deals, and how that plays out, and how the mob is intertwined in this world.
Yep.
And it's going to, when you read it and play it, it's going to just change how Rock Junction is set up and ran. But, or you can run it separately. It's like you say, we have the various different campaign styles. This is the horror campaign style for investigations and things like that. It's going to put a twist, and there's new character classes in it.
Yeah, but real quick,
character classes.
Yep, but let's explain real quick to people that are in here who maybe are not up to speed on why this got delayed. That it got delayed. Let's kind of talk about a little bit this.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
There's a really good reason why this game got delayed like it did, and actually, it works out better for the people buying the game, and I'm going to go into that here in a minute. What happened was this, is that when Mark sent me the manuscript, I got the manuscript, it looked good, and as traditional, it's sent in both Word and PDF, because that's kind of the basis that you write stuff in and everything. Well, for some reason, the PDF and the Word doc just were not kind of correlating. Me and Mark even went live together on video, and I showed Mark this. It was basically, of all things, translating certain characters into Chinese characters.
Yeah.
Really weird stuff. We involved Adobe tech support, and Adobe got involved, and even they were puzzled, and they finally got us up to Adobe Tier 3, which is kind of like their top of the line tech support. You can't get above tier 3. And the lady there was really big help. And it turned out what it was Mark at that time, you now have the updated version, had an older version of Word. And it was some type of weird conversion. Basically, the moons aligned, the planets went straight, and it was all just a perfect storm. So we got that fixed. Now, why is this beneficial to game players? Because in the process of this game has went from like 160 pages up to a little bit over 200 now. So Mark discovered new ways he could improve it. He added, I mean, God, what did you add to this game? You added like character classes. You added, I mean, all kinds of stuff. So basically, the content of the game increased. Yes, significantly. So basically, the book is laid out. It's ready to go. We're in print and bind now. Life is good. So we just want to kind of give everybody a real quick heads up. That's why it got delayed. We apologize for delaying it, but you know what? Sometimes it may, like Mark did, look good on Mark's computer, and when I opened it up, it looked good. But when you went to transfer it into InDesign, and we started trying to get this thing laid out and put it into final form for print and bind, it just went really all kinds of weird ways wonky.
Like, have you guys ever seen like the screen on the Matrix? How it was all numbers?
Oh yeah,
it was crazy.
It was weird.
It was weird.
I mean, and I tell you what, I have been in the publishing business for about a good 18, 19 years now. And I've never ran into anything like this before. It was just, and again, Adobe said probably what it was probably just older version of Word, probably somehow, gets corrupted because, let's face it, over time, things go wonky in computers. Yeah. And so what Mark did, because Mark's a hard charger, Mark said, I know how to fix this. I'll just buy new software. And that's what Mark did. So me and Mark are on the same playing field with Word and other stuff, PDF, Adobe, Acrobat, and such. So we're good to go. So problems are in the past. Okay.
Like perfect example. I see an opportunity to add 4 new character classes. So I did. Enhance the rules, make it better. I'm like, well, I'm going through it. One more fresh set of eyes going through it. Yeah. Oh, I can add this, change this, move this, make this work better. Yeah. So the game now is even better than what I originally conceived when I first turned it in.
Yep.
So you guys are going to be just
it is really cool. Batman thanks for tuning in, says, I want to get an online campaign going. Heck yes. And me and Mark were actually talking about that today. Me and Mark are thinking about getting an online, like through Twitch or maybe Restream like this, and that is doing like a live gameplay session, maybe like once every couple of weeks, and doing it live, maybe involve other people, show people how the game is played, give kind of like some different mini scenarios, play through some adventure packs, because there's a design for 1 to 2 sessions, that kind of thing.
We'll probably do something smaller, like how to build characters, or how to build characters while using the same character classes in the various different campaign styles, and how that happens.
Yeah. Richard Offrey says a problem is probably due to some viral gangster game company. yeah, exactly. Perfect Machine Game says it's going to get an in-person game going. Yeah, this is really, really cool. And then also says might be up for an online game. Yeah, basically what we want to do is, and then we're going to get back into the meat and potatoes video, is me and Mark want to, along with, of course, releasing the game, we want content for you gamers out there where you learn how to play the game, where you have an avenue to say, hey, listen, I got a question about a rule. Something came up during gameplay, and then Mark or me can go ahead and clarify it for you guys while we're live online. So, a lot of cool stuff happening. Along with another product, we got a thing called the 5th Precinct coming out. Mark?
Yes.
Care to explain?
The 5th Precinct is it's detailed slightly in the Rock Junction booklet, but this is the player character's home base for law enforcement personnel. And we have a whole booklet determining what it's like being a cop in Rock Junction and how those play out and all things like that. Plus the neighborhood that it's situated in, all that's detailed out. So like,
And then you got,
okay, I can do it with this. You can play without it, but if you everything that's supplement enhances what's in the book and makes it,
mhm,
to my better is that much better. So you can say,
yeah,
oh, I can play just like this, or I can use this book and go, oh, it's way better now,
yep,
and then more details and more information on the city and on the game style.
yep. And then we also have coming out Joe's Diner.
Yes.
And Joe's Diner is,
Well, Joe's Diner, if you guys know Gangbusters, it's like we meet at the proverbial tavern. You know, the
yep,
place where everyone meets. Or like Cheers, everyone knows your name.
yep,
It's a convex of several districts and wards in Rock Junction near downtown,
yep,
where Foot Patrol meets, where crime comes in, the train goes by. It's near a big warehouse. This is the epicenter where a lot of people, a lot of
mhm,
action takes place. So that's about 20 different campaign leads just spurred in each book. And I've designed like all these different locations and places. So if you just have this one book, you have at least a dozen or so
yep,
ideas you can spin off of them each.
yep.
So that way you can play how you like.
Yeah, and Perfect Machine Games says, he says this, or they say this, I'm going to look over the rules, then grab the license because I have a module idea for Gangbusters BX. Once I had the rules done, I can get the writing. Now, a little bit about that, because me and Mark talked about that today also, just to kind of clarify something as a publisher. Um, Gangbusters BX falls under the Wizard Tower Games OGL 1.5. And what that basically is, it's an open game license, and we encourage you to create products. Get it on Drive-Thru RPG, sell it. We don't get a cut, we don't get our part, none of that nonsense. Your game, your money. All we ask is that you have to have a copy of the license in the game product, and you have to go ahead and you have to follow the basics of the game license. Real simple stuff, sort of like what WotC does with their OGL, but we're not as strict as WotC is about it. We want you to make things. We want places like Perfect Machine Games. We want you to create a module and to get it out there. So what will happen is this week, the new Wizard Tower Games / publishing website will be up. There'll be a copy of the OGL, but also if you go to wizardtowergames.com right now, you'll be able to click on the very bottom. It says the OGL Open Game License, and that's the copy of it. And all you got to do is follow that, and boom, you're golden. Just make sure you put a copy of it in the very back of your manual. Minimum 6-point font, really tall, tiny stuff, and literally just covers up one page. So easy peasy, nice and easy. And Chad Dickout says, nice. Laura Engel says, can't wait. Perfect Machine Games says, when are the PDFs being sent out? We are getting to that in 1 minute. We're going to explain that. Yep. So what we're just basically doing is we want to kind of just fill people in tonight, such as things like we have a product called Stop the Presses.
Yes. This will Stop the Presses will be about enhancing the reporter play in of it. So how you run as reporters, dealing with public perceptions, and how to run things so to manipulate the public by what you put in the press. And that's part of, yellow journalism was huge during this time.
Mm-hmm.
And all that takes place during this era. Sports casting, all things like that will be covered so you can play a whole thing going.
Yep. And Perfect Machine Games says, stop talking, get sending. We got a lot of information we got to get out first. We want to make sure, plus we're going to be doing some giveaways. So we're giving away some cool stuff tonight also. So we're not going to be long tonight, guys. We're not going to be here talking for 2 hours. Don't worry. We're going to make this relatively quick. And I know you're kidding, Perfect Machine Games. I get it. We get it. Now, something very important. There is, we all are familiar with modules, game modules. Just adventure modules. You can play over a series of 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions, whatever it takes. But also, we're going to be putting out a thing called adventure packs. And what adventure packs are is they are very small mini adventures that are designed specifically to be done and played in one game session, 2 at the most, depending on how much time you put into the game session. So they're quick and easy, inexpensive. And what's cool about them is you can take these adventure packs, and after you get a few, you can either combine them to make a bigger adventure, or a campaign, or you can implement them as side adventures. So if you have a Gangbusters campaign going on and maybe a gamer doesn't show up tonight and you're like, oh crap, what do I do? Because he's not here and we're in the middle of something, you can yank out an adventure pack and take who's there on a little bit of a side adventure. So something real quick, real easy. And we're going to be giving away the first one called If It Bleeds, It Leads, which is premiering this Friday. And if we're premiering a module this Friday, that means these PDFs have to be out, at least PDFs, right? So when are we giving away PDFs? PDFs, we've already, because we have to mass email them and we have to go through Shopify, the shopping cart system, to get the mass email report. Shopify requires us to get a permission thing through them. We've made our request. So by tomorrow, 3 or 4 o'clock roughly, everybody better be watching their emails because you're going to be hearing ding, 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 because guess what? PDFs are starting to fly. And if I get that permission tonight, you're going to get them tonight. But either way, by tomorrow, you're going to have your PDF copies of your games. So everybody will be able to be in time to start gaming at the beginning of the week. So that's like really cool. We're going to be giving away adventure packs. So this is how you can go ahead and you can win an adventure pack. So you might want to go ahead and write this down or whatnot. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to, on the very bottom of the screen, I am going to put down, hold on a second. Let me find this. Hold on a minute. I am going to write down an email. What you do is you send your name, okay, to this email, and all you do is title it contest. And what you want to do is that is the email, info@wizardtowergames.com, title it contest. And what we're going to do is we will pick one random email. We're going to put you in kind of like a name generator. If you don't send the email, you don't get a chance to win. So info@wizardtowergames.com, we're going to pick one random name and you're going to get an adventure pack. Adventure packs are not digital. Adventure packs, the first few are going to be actually physical. If you win, I'll email you back, send me back your address, and I'll send you a hard copy on our dime. We're happy to do it. Also, we're going to be doing the same thing with dice. We have a set of Gangbuster dice. We're going to be giving away a couple sets of that. So all you got to do is send your name once, and you're in it to win one of 2 adventure packs, one of 2 sets of dice. We're going to be giving away a pair of, or two different Gangbuster t-shirts. So if you want to go ahead and you, again, send it to info@wizardtowergames.com. If your name's named, you might get an email back and you may say, congratulations, you won dice. What's your address? Or if I email you back and say, what size shirt you wear, you want a t-shirt. So we're giving away adventure packs, t-shirts, dice. So really cool stuff. And also we're going to be giving away 2 dice bags. Nice, handcrafted, beautiful dice bags. So a lot of good stuff. Again, info@wizardtowergames.com. Title the email contest. And we're going to make this kind of difficult. If you don't title a contest, you're not in the contest. You got to title it contest. So, and no, we're not going to take your emails and sell them. We're not into selling emails as a business. We make cool games. So, yeah. So the first or adventure pack is going to be called If It Bleeds, If It Bleeds, It Leads. Glenn Hallstrom, the old man Grognard, he is the one who actually created that module, so credit to him. He also did the voiceover advertisement for it, which we're going to be posting tomorrow. It is so cool. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. You got to admit that, Mark. It's cool. So
when you go to the website, you'll be able to click on it and have the advertisement. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job on this. So also what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about printing here in a minute. We're also talking about a product that Mark created called the Police Files. Mark?
The police files are going to be like collections of adventures that you can pick up that you need to solve or do over the course of the game. So, if you want to know like the size of the district, the precinct, Joe's Diner, things like that, source books are going to be like 96 pages. Modules that I do will be 48 pages at least.
Yeah.
So
So
you'll know.
modules would be roughly what, about 45 to 60 pages to be safe.
Right. But see, from 48 to 64 pages around there.
Yeah,
Depends on the content of them.
Yeah, and the ancillary books like Mob versus Monsters, Fifth Princess, they're going to be right around the 100-page mark. Let's just ballpark 100-page markish.
Yeah, about 100 pages. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe as much as 120.
Yep. Now, adventure.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry. Me and Mark's both amped up about this. We're both we're so hyped up about this game. It's just crazy.
And during the contest thing, I'll announce this. On the Facebook group, we have like 815, 817. If we get to 1,000 people registered on our page, so if you got friends or someone who might like Gangbusters, get them to join our group. When we get to 1,000, I'm going to be releasing a free module. You'll be able to go to Wizard Tower Game and download the free module.
Yep. Now,
so get your friends in there if they like it. Give them a sign up.
Now, the golden ticket.
Yes.
Shall we talk about the golden ticket?
Let's do the golden ticket. Let them know about this.
All right, folks. The golden ticket, real quick. Richard Offrey says how many. We already talked about that. Joe Stone, thank you. Chad, thank you. Laura, thank you. Perfect Machine says, I had it sent by the time I gave the email address. He is prepped, ready to go. Good number of pages. We're very proud. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, listen. I have the easy part here, okay? I'm the publisher. That man sitting next to me is the man that really is the machine behind this, and he's one that really deserves the applause here. Mark has really busted his ass on this, and I'm just going to be blunt with you guys on something. When we were having these problems with the files, me and Mark were up at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning and later working on this. And, that guy next to me right here is willing to put the time and effort to get his game product out there. He's dedicated to it. So if things get a little bit delayed, you can bet on the fact that they're not being delayed because work ain't being done. They're delayed because of legitimate issues that happen to crop up. And sadly, and I hate to use this term, but just shit happens. I mean, things happen that are beyond our control. And I'd rather be 2 or 3 weeks late on a project and get it to you right than to just shove it out to you guys. You guys get garbage. You guys don't want garbage. We really, really want to do it.
And we're not charging like $100 for a PDF. Like
$160 for a PDF. Can you believe that garbage?
Yeah, we're not doing that kind of stuff.
Jacob Hawk says, when is the PDF going to be up on Drive-Thru-RPG? We do not go through Drive-Thru-RPG. Wizard Tower Games, as a publisher, does not put content on Drive-Thru-RPG because we have the ability to have PDFs on our own website and our own store. So you're going to be able to, Jacob, if you want to just purchase the PDF, once we get the hardback printed copies done, they're going to be available for purchase by people. But already, if you buy a product from Wizard Tower Games, like the hardcover limited edition book, or you get the soft cover, you're going to be able to get the PDF along with it. So, but Drive-Thru-RPG, there's a few reasons why we do not utilize it. And I'm just going to be for the sake of open and honesty here. We are getting ready to, we've actually penned the deal already with a nationwide distributor. So our products are going to be available anyways to a majority of the game shops in the United States. We have our own distribution methods because, like I said, on our store, you can download the PDF. We have that ability already. And also, and I understand Drive-Thru-RPG is a business. They got to make money. I respect that. But they really have a really skewed royalty system that works more in their favor, really, than it does the favor of the authors. So Drive-Thru-RPG is basically a pseudo publisher. And we are a publisher, so we're just going to go ahead and do it ourselves because these books will be in Amazon, they will be in Barnes & Noble, they will be in Books A Million, they will be in a variety of locations. And what will happen here, and it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for it to happen. What will happen is once the distributor gets the final books and they accept them into their catalog, you will literally be able to walk into any Barnes & Noble in the United States and say, I want to get a copy of Gangbusters. They'll look it up and they'll do like any other one does. They'll order it and get it into you within within a couple days. Some will stock it. Like I know for a fact, I've already talked to them. The Lansing location, there's 3 Lansing locations. There's one in Battle Creek and one in Kalamazoo. They are going to be carrying the books in store. So little bit more organized than mostly, I think. Joe Stone says, my dream is to be a RPG publisher one day. Joe, if you want some advice, some help, me and Mark here, after we get the final website up this week, we're going to be offering kind of like online how-tos and classes. We'll be glad to have you sit in. We'll be glad to sit down with you and talk with you and kind of give you like the how-tos and how to get it started and get it fired up. Yes, I'm a game publisher. Yes, I will show people how to become a game publisher, because the way I look at it is more the merrier. I don't mind helping small businesses like me get off their feet, give you some advice, because been there, done that, made the mistakes already. I can kind of guide you on how to avoid some of the bigger mistakes that I've already stepped in. So
how to get adventures out, how to come up with ideas for it. We're going to cover a lot of different topics.
Yep. We're even going to get into how-tos, like how do you take a PDF and get that into InDesign or Corel Draw? How do you lay out a book? We're going to talk about things like, you're going to hear terms, Joe. And so a lot of other people, when you start doing your own book, maybe you see it through Drive-Thru RPG where they'll say, you need like a 0.3 gutter. What is a gutter? Well, we're going to explain that to you and why it's important that there's a difference between the inside margin and a gutter and that type of thing.
We know there's a need for it, so we're gonna make it available. So you guys want to look for it, you come here, you can learn, and then share the knowledge and prosper together, because a rising tide lifts all the boats. If we're all doing good, we're all making stuff happen, we're gonna go together.
That's right, and there's where it's all about. It's also like Mark just kind of touched the edge of it. It's about community. What we want to be able to do here is, this is not Wizard Tower Games and Mark Hunt against all of you. No, we want to help people. If we wanted to be that way, we wouldn't have an open license.
Yeah.
We want people to create, and I don't mind helping you guys out if you guys can get the help. And if I can help you with a little bit of my knowledge, I don't know everything. I don't. But if I can help you, I'm happy to do it. And no, I don't charge to help you. Richard Offrey says, Charlie Bucket wants to know about the golden ticket. Yep, and we're going to talk about that right now. All right. We all heard of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? We know what the golden ticket is, right? Well, the golden ticket through Wizard Tower Games is this. What it is one person will win it. And what the golden ticket gives you is for 1 year. 1 year. You get one free hard copy and PDF of everything we make. Board games, collectible card games, modules, Gangbusters, Stars and Sails, Winnie the Pooh the board game, D20 Delving, Open Worlds role-playing game, all the modules, so no matter what it is, 5e, 1e, with the golden ticket for 1 year from the time you take possession of that ticket, you will get on our dime sent to you one of everything. So like if 6 months from now we put out something, you'll get a copy sent to you of it for free. That's the golden ticket. Mark, I don't know of any other publisher that pulled that stunt.
Nobody.
Well, guess what?
Not Charlie Bucket, is Charlie Bouquet.
Bouquet.
That's an old joke from
Yeah. So the idea behind it is this: is part of what we want to do is we want to give back to the community that supports us. Right. And that's why we're doing things like we're doing giveaways and we're giving product away and we're having a thing like the golden ticket. And if
we want to build a strong community.
Yes, very, very. And there's another thing that we're going to be doing is for those of you who don't know about it, We do also run a game convention called WizardCon. Okay, so what's going to happen is as we get more closer to WizardCon, we're going to be giving away free tickets to WizardCon to people who are in the Gangbusters community.
So I
So,
guess the golden ticket would get one of those too.
yep, they sure would, because it's part of
Something you
Wizard
do.
Tower Games. And along with that, the really cool thing is if you are a member of let me back up. If you are not a member of the Gangbusters community, become a member. Share it with your friends. Get people to join the community, because, like Mark said, he wants 1,000 members. Once we get to that, that's a milestone. Stuff we're going to be giving away. The Gangbusters community is going to be one of the central points that we start giving away not only product for Gangbusters, but we're going to be giving away things like tickets to WizardCon and such. Along with that, at the new WizardCon, there's going to be a lot of special events. We got Merle Rasmussen is coming. Frank Menser, the author behind Beck Me, is going to be there. We just got a whole ton of really cool OSR BX kind of style people coming. And we're going to be running special games with these people and such. And it's your chance to also win that. Mark, Jacob Hulk says, how do we join the community?
Go there, sign up for the Facebook page.
Let me real quickly, hold on a minute.
And make sure you send the email to register for the contest.
Yep,
Because
I
that way
am going
we can
to.
send you stuff if we
Go
need
ahead,
to.
Mark.
The more we get, the better off we are. That allows us to, get the word out.
Yep.
Because the key is, we want to grow Gangbusters organically and let people see what's happening.
And down below, folks, I just made a post in the comments. That's a direct link to the Gangbusters Facebook group. That's the community. Click on that link, join it. Mark will get you in, and let's get Gangbusters built up, the community itself. And again, no one's making money off this Gangbusters community. What we're trying to do is we're trying to grow the community, because it's a great game. It's a place. And I noticed something about the community. I'm a member of a lot of groups. And, there's a lot of toxic, nasty things that happen in groups, not at Gangbusters. Everybody's really cool. Everybody wants to help each other. There aren't no smart alecks. There aren't no problem causers. People genuinely will ask a question and they get a whole bunch of answers. And it's just full of a lot of really cool people. And, boom. Perfect Machine says 818 members. We're getting close.
Yeah.
So the golden ticket, folks, boom. Now, Mark, did I explain how we're going to give that ticket away yet?
Not yet. Go ahead.
Well, let's go ahead and explain that. This is what's going to happen. Once we hit 1,000 members in the Gangbusters group, we're going to go live online. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to cycle all the names live online. And it's going to be like a gigantic spinning wheel. I learned that from Eric Tenkar from Tenkar's Tavern. And then all of a sudden, it'll select a name and you will be the winner. So it'll be a live event, so people can't say favoritism. Because after all, I don't want to win my own golden ticket.
Yeah, I don't want to win.
Yep.
I got enough stuff.
Yeah, and also there's a few rules with the golden ticket. Okay, number one, you have to be a member of the Gangbusters group in order to qualify to win it. Number two, you can't be an admin or a moderator.
Yeah.
So other than that, it's game 819. You know what? We're growing live online, Yarmark. So tomorrow, emails will be sent out. Of course, before I send the emails out, I'll be making a gigantic post in the Gangbusters group saying PDFs are headed out. Check your email. Now, for those of you who see that post and you check your email and your email doesn't come quickly, do not worry about it, because what happens is when the email is sent, it's sent to everybody at once, and the PDF is a big file. So what happens is it may take a little while to get to you. And after an hour, if you haven't got it, check things like your spam folder. Check that. Make sure it's not going to your spam or other places like that. Yeah, a lot of good things happening, folks. And I'll tell you what, the print books now, let's get into that real quick, because I don't want to keep up everybody's night all night. We got all the problems solved with the files. Everything's kosher. We're in print and bind now. It's going to be maybe about 7 days, maybe 8, depending. And it's just because of the fact that, these are a lot of books we got to print.
It's a lot of books.
It's a lot of books. And for those of you who do not know, and I'll put it like this. There's a couple different ways you can do books. You can do it the fast and easy way, but what I do is when I clamp my books in for that glue to set on the spine and that cover's wrapped around that book, I actually keep it in for a little bit longer than what's recommended. They say that's good because I really want that glue to set, because I'll tell you what I personally hate as a gamer, and it just pisses me off, is when I get a brand new book and I open it up and you hear that cracking sound. That's the glue that's set too quickly and it's brittle. I don't like that. I like my glue to stay flexible, so I like to sit in the clamp longer. And that way you can open up your book and you can play your bloody book and read it without having to sit there and worry about cracking the spine on it. Now, another couple things. And Mark's going to get hit a curveball on this because he didn't know I'm going to mention this. So basically, also, if you are out there and you have an idea for an adventure pack and you want to see your idea in print, drop us an email at info@wizardtowergames.com, title it Gangbusters Adventure Pack, and send me your idea. This is what we'll do. If we use your idea, okay, we'll make sure that we credit you as the writer of the module, okay? And what I'll do is we'll give you, when we put them in print, we'll give you like 8 or 10 free copies for you helping out with an adventure pack, and you can give them away to family and friends if you want. Just kind of helping us get product written for it and done. Real quick, Batman says, traveling home from my trip in my car, won't miss part of the PDFs go out tomorrow. Correct. They'll be going out tonight or tomorrow. We're kind of waiting on permission from Shopify to download the email list. And then Richard Offrey says, will the upcoming supplements be available in hardcover or just paperback? They will be only available in paperback. The hardcover, which is still available, but we're running out quick.
Real fast.
Yeah. It is a limited edition hardcover, has a little bit more content in it. It's special. You can go to wizardtowergames.com, click on the shop button, and look for the hardcover. Like I said, it is limited edition, and we're running out. We're almost out of them. So what you might want to do, if you want to grab the hardcover, get it now. There's only 100 of them, and me and Mark today were signing the book plates for them. So these are all going to be numbered, autographed by both Mark and myself, and special. So 100 copies only. Once they're gone, they are gone. So you might want to grab them up while you can. They're going to be really good collector's items.
And tell them about the combined volume that might be coming out.
Ooh, the combined volume. Me and Mark were talking about this, and this is actually, we would like, and Mark, should you make a post or should I make a post? Want me to make a post about this after the video? I'm going to make a post after this video. We're going to talk about, we're thinking about offering a specialized combined edition of all the old classic modules converted to BX, and also new rules and such, and put it into one big combined volume, hardcover, limited edition, like that's it. Like that's the rewrite. Or would you like it better, like in a box, like a sleeve set, where it's all the individual modules, like in classic module form, but they're converted over to the new BX rules? So I'm going to do a poll. Let's do a poll.
Yeah, we're going to try to see that. Like the original Murder and Harmony, things like that. Death on the Docks, the original ones out there, but updated and for BX rules. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're looking at. But that's going to take a while because, we have to get the stuff that's in the production line and then get to that. That might be late this year or early next year. All depends on how they fall in production time. Yeah,
it's nothing that's going to happen real quick. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to involve the community, You tell us, I'm gonna put this poll up right after this video. So within about 10 minutes of the poll will be up. You go ahead and you guys vote, because we're going to do a lot of these, because you all are going to help us steer this game to the way you want it. Because again, it's about, like Mark said, it's about community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would love to just do all hardback, but just, we have to be conscious of our costs and expenses. And we're
Yeah,
trying to make it affordable for you guys also.
exactly. And on top of that, when it's something really special, like we did the hardcover for the premiere, keep in mind one thing. When you see a Gangbusters hardcover, this isn't some flippant mass product we're throwing out there because we made 10,000 copies. We're going to make anything hardcover is going to be extremely limited edition for Gangbusters. And it'll always be special in some way, and it'll always have content unique to the hardcover.
Yep. Can't get it nowhere else. And
Yep.
that won't be in PDF format. It'll be always physical.
Yep. And also, if you have an idea, we appreciate you posting the idea in the Gangbusters group. But keep in mind one thing: as a publisher, I'm in the group, and you'll see me either as Don Samora or as Wizard Tower Games posting. But I may miss something. So if you have something that's a cracking idea that you really think is a really good idea, info at Wizard Tower Games, send us an email and say, hey, I have an idea. And don't worry, we're not out to steal your idea. If we use your idea, we're not just going to say thank you, ma'am or sir, and move on. We use your idea, you're getting goodies for it.
Yeah.
We'll
And now
make
also
sure we make it up for a while.
keep in mind, I literally have 40 years of product. So your idea might be in my line somewhere. When I
Trust
say I
me,
have
he
40 years of
does.
product, I'm not joking. I got
Yes.
stuff from 82 when I started playing the game, from way back.
Mhm.
I got plenty of stuff. So I
Oh.
might say, or you might get joined in and do it together. Like, okay, great idea. This is what I have. Let's
Yep.
flesh this out together.
Talk about Mark Akers and what
Oh,
possible.
yes. Remember Mark Akers, the guy who came up with, one of the co-founders of the original Gangbusters. We're looking to get him into making more product for Gangbusters.
Yes. Yep.
And that's the kind of stuff we can do with you guys support. You
Yep.
guys support us. We'll reach out and try to find these great legends while they're still available and work with them to enhance what we have and carry on the legend.
And Richard,
I would love to talk to Chris and see if he wants to do something like that. That'd be great.
Yep. Yeah, because this is what this is all about. Whenever and this is one of the key things. Whenever we're coordinating with another publisher about putting out a major product, that's what we want to do. We want to have a meeting. We want to get the meeting of the minds going, so we can go ahead and we can determine what we want to do here. Because one of the big things about Gangbusters is trademark. It is the intellectual property of Mark. We're Mark's publisher, but ultimately it's Mark's game. And so what we want to make sure is keep in mind, we also have IP, our intellectual property. We have our logo, our reputation behind it. So that's one of the reasons why we have also an open game license, because by having an open game license, we have the basic rules set forth. If you want to publish a product, that you will follow to make sure that everybody's happy, that reputations are upkept and all that. I don't have to mention any names, but there was another company recently that went bankrupt that really put out some bad stuff under the name of a couple of D&D products, and that's what we don't want to see happen. We want creators. We want you to make product. We want you to say, I have a great idea. If you submit a product, and this is very important to understand, if you submit a product, as an example, to Wizard Tower Games, and we say, you know what, we're so busy, just now's not the right time. If you want to publish it, just say, hey, how about this instead? I want to publish this, Don or Mark. Can you help me and give me advice? You know what? We'll be happy to help you, my friends.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. Again, you're going to hear a lot of the word community by me and Mark a lot, because that's what we're here for.
Let me mention this. My goal is to have a box set of the original Lakefront City. Ooh. If we get enough people want to do it, down the line. And I probably would like to do something like a backers kit or whatever, so we'll know who wants what. And then if we get enough people and enough stuff for it, I have plans to do a box set for Lakefront City. That would be my long-term goal. Probably sometime next year, if we get the numbers right, everything goes right, it's all possible.
Yeah. Perfect Machine Games says, I'd love to see a BX version of the city from the original version of Gangbusters. Things like that are possible. Trust me when I say this guy sitting next to me on computer, this guy is all Gangbusters. Trust me. I seen this man in action last April at WizardCon. This guy lights up a room. I mean, the room's got 150 people in it, and he's leading the room because of his game, because everybody's around the table having a great time. Mark rocks it. So, Mr. Gangbusters here, 100%.
The PDFs will be on Wizard Tower. We have our own site. We have our own site that sells it. So we're gonna get to the point. Give us a day or two of it up for the website, and you'll be able to go there and download all the stuff available once we release it, quote unquote, into the wild.
Hold on a minute. I'm gonna drop them a link directly to it, Mark. Okay.
Yes.
So basically, real quickly. All right. What I'm gonna do here is this. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a link to the hardcover version of it, but you can from there go see all the other versions of the game. Just to let you guys know. So that's a direct link to the limited edition hardcover version. Now, there are PDF versions and such and all that. So Perfect Machine Games says, I'd love to help. Perfect Machine Games, if you want, drop me an email at the info at Wizard Tower Games. And what we'll do is maybe later on this week, we'll set up a time, pick maybe one evening where me and Mark sit down quietly on video, and we can talk about maybe working together a little bit, maybe put out some mutual product. We're always loving to collab. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, we can find out where he fits in. We're
Glenn,
to the table.
Welcome back, my friend. You made it back alive. I saw the images from the midnight auction, from the splash zone. Sorry I was not there to miss that. Glenn, in case you missed it, PDFs are being sent out tomorrow to everybody. We're waiting for Shopify to give us our download list. So PDFs are being sent out tomorrow. It's in print and bind right now. And like I said, I got you and your buddy covered. Those are being sent out to you first thing as soon as we get the hard copies all printed up and done. So, and I was just talking about you, Glenn. This man right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the one who did the voiceover advertisement, which will be in the advertising video that you guys are going to be seeing here in the next day or so. And along with that, Glenn, I was just mentioning to Glenn that we're going to be doing the If It Bleeds, It Leads. That's coming out Friday. So everyone's going to have their PDF copies in time for Friday for the weekend. Along with that, you're going to have your first adventure pack. So
you're going to get your T-shirts. You'll be able to get. Oh, also, we're going to have a GM screen coming.
Yes,
yes. We come to the Game Master
Don't forget that.
And we're going to be doing where you can download the character sheet also from the website.
Oh, important, folks. Here, this was a question I was asked earlier. Unfortunately, we are not going to be selling character sheets.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No, we give them away for free. What's going to happen is you're going to see in the new Wizard Tower game sets coming up, there's going to be a thing called free downloads. Or no, excuse me, it's called freebies. And what happens is you click on that and you're going to see Gangbuster character record sheets. This is my philosophy as a publisher. Look, you bought the game. I'm not going to charge you for bloody player character record sheets. You can download those for free. Yeah, we could make a few extra bucks with it, but you know what? We'd rather give it to you guys for free as a thank you for trusting us, using our product, and playing our game. So, yeah. And Glenn says, GM screen, about time. Darn right.
Yeah.
Nice GM screen. So that's going to be there also. So GM screens, hard copy, yep. Books, adventure packs, full-fledged modules, and also, like I said, free product, the player character record sheets. What what I'll probably do, just because it's a lot of fun, I might make a couple of different versions of it, a couple of different styles, a couple of different, variations of it, just to be fun. But when it comes to Wizard Tower games, whether it's Gangbusters, Open Worlds RPG, it's going to be player character record sheets are free, is what they do. And Glenn says, I want to retire my crappy one. Glenn, you will have an awesome one. It's going to be in the mail to you by me personally. I'll take care of you, my friend. Perfect Machine Game says, I'm getting a GM screen with the Speakeasy pack I bought. Absolutely, yes. You are. And then looking forward to it. But folks, again, I want to reiterate something to everybody on behalf of, me as a publisher, and I'm sure I'm speaking for Mark too, and that is, thank you very much for your patience with us.
Yes.
We did not anticipate these files doing weird things. It's not a paper problem. It's not a stock problem. We got a U.S. supplier. We don't got to worry about tariffs anymore. We don't got to worry about China no more. We don't got to worry about nothing anymore. But on the same token, I'm sorry, we're not going to release something that's going to be error-filled. And, we just don't want to do that. We want you guys to get your product, be excited for it, open it up and go, holy crap, this is awesome. Let's get some gaming. Batman says, will there be a possibility of also having the GM screen in PDF format as well? The answer to that is no. And the reason why is because the way a GM screen is just inherently designed, you have really all the information in your guide anyways, your rule book. So there's no way to really have a GM screen in PDF format. So the answer to that is going to be no. But Glenn Houseman, got to get with you guys to let you know how it bleeds went at North Texas. Yeah, Glenn, let us know. Matter of fact, Glenn, if you're free, Mark, you free tomorrow night?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do a little.
Glenn, you want to meet tomorrow night and just kind of have a quick chat? You know what I mean? Let us know, okay? And yeah, Glenn's right. Damn right. Quality first, because this is the thing. Me and Mark talked about this a little bit today about what we're going to start doing is we're going to start scheduling things a little bit more tighter, in the sense that we're going to give ourselves more lead time to incorporate if there is a problem encountered. But also, as you guys saw, we didn't bullshit anybody here. When we found out the problem, what did we do? We went into the group, to the community. You're the community. You deserve to know this. And we were honest with you. We told you guys the problem. A lot of publishers would have bullshitted you. They would have kind of hid it. Oh, nope. You guys deserve to know the truth. We're going to be straight up and honest with you. And that's a promise me and Mark both make as the people putting this out. And also as the publisher, I'm making that commitment to you guys also, is we'll always have transparency with the community. You guys deserve it. You know what I mean?
Right. Also, I want to put out, this is the thing that's coming up. We're going to have things known as raids coming out.
Oh, yes.
Raids are going to be introductory adventures to get you slammed from a nobody into a somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, you're going to have 3 characters that you start off with that's basically a nobody. And what happens during the raid? Do you make it out? Do you go to jail? What happens?
Yep.
And the person that makes it out is the ones you can play.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a way of
kind of character creation, but in a fun way.
Right, fun way. Like, find out what happens, and you go through these things, and we're going to try to make this for a pack so you can take it and run it at your local game store or run it at your local convention to get people hyped up about Gangbusters. Mm-hmm. If they survive the raid, now say, okay, now we have a reason to play your character in the game. And then it's going to be themed on, whether or not it's a horror version, or whether or not it's going to be reporters, or whether or not it's going to be cops, or not your crooks, on how you're going to play the game, or vigilantes.
Yep.
So it's going to be various different types of raids you can run to get people hooked into the game. So that's
one other thing
that's coming.
Yep. And one other thing for those of you watching this, you're watching via YouTube. If you could do us a favor, if you could hit that subscribe button down below, that would help us out a lot. We're trying to build also the YouTube, because our YouTube channel is also going to be a main point of where we're going to be doing our videos. We're going to be talking about rules, where we're going to be giving advice on how to, the weird stuff that people don't realize as a publisher, like what's the difference between an ISBN and a UPC code? Why would you use one for the other? Because it's important to understand that. So this is where also the educational aspect is going to happen, is on YouTube. So you all want to go ahead and hit subscribe if you can, be greatly appreciated.
Plus, we'll
Lord,
post videos that you can answer. Hey, what about this or what about that? We'll answer,
yes,
mail in questions, right? Right. Hey, what
yes,
about this rule question or whatever? We might be
yep,
able to refine it because you might find something that never came up in gameplay.
yes. Gangster Gauntlet, yep. And then thank you, Perfect Machine, for subbing. That's greatly appreciated. You know, again, like I said, and then we'll get off here because we know everybody's busy tonight.
Yeah.
But again, thank you everybody for your patience. It's going to be well worth it. As always, we remain transparent. We wanted to go ahead and let you guys know. You see us all the time. You see my pretty face all the time in the group posting. Because I want to make sure that you guys understand on the publisher end what is happening. And that's why one other thing then we can get out of here, and that is I'm getting questions like, do you have a specific date? The reason why I'm not giving a specific date, because this is how this goes. If I tell you it's going to be 7 days, it'll probably be 9. If I tell you it's going to be 9 days, it might be 5. I want to make sure that if I'm going to give you a specific timeline, I can follow that timeline. So sometimes I may say, it's going to be within the next week or so. I'm not trying to blow you off. I'm just trying not to, I don't want to overpromise, underdeliver.
Right.
So Joe Stone says, time for a cigar. Me, it's time for some iced tea with me. So everybody, thank you for tuning in to tonight's video. Remember, giveaways. I'm going to be doing the poll here right after we get off this. So I'm going to be doing the poll regarding, do you want like hardcover, everything in one, or would you rather have a mixture for the one version? And then, like I said, we're going to be doing the golden ticket giveaway. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned. Join that group. 1,000 members. Golden ticket gets given away. So share it with your friends also. Say, hey, join the group. I want to get some goodies.
Join the group and send the email. Don't
yes.
forget.
Again, email, title it, contest. Boom. And we'll be giving away a lot of goodies. Real quick, I'm announcing the contest winners. What did we say, Mark? When were we going to do the announcement?
4th of July.
4th of July, yes. So all of the emails that you send and are saying contest. And by the way, folks, don't send me 100 emails. Only one entry per person. That's another thing I need to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going to happen is on the 4th of July, we're going to do just a real quick announcement, live stream, draw the names, winner, chicken dinner. So Obsidian Risk says, Traveler, Gangbusters character creation, you drawn in a keg on your first day. Better luck next time. Batman, thank you. You're very welcome, Batman. And again, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in tonight's video. Mark, anything else you want to say before we get the hell out of here? Cop's not going
to just look forward to greatness, and let's grow the group, and we're going to do everything we can to make it great.
That's right. And we're going to grow the game, folks, because without you, the game ain't nothing. So Gangbusters, it's been reborn. And we're a couple of parents who are really going to go ahead and shove this down your throat. You guys are going to love the stuff we're going to be putting out.
Yeah.
So everybody, have a safe week. Happy Sunday night. And I will see you in the group posting. Talk to you guys soon.